The phrase that he used was when he came back in from work and Archie could sense his anxiety. What work? I mean, it's farcical, you know, it's trying to be relatable. This bloke has never worked.
So Meghan and Harry are back making headlines with another attack on Prince William, this time using Diana's memory as ammunition. Sean's breaking down how their latest claims about royal work are complete fiction and why William can't fight back. This gets brutal.
He's been in the army. He did say, in fairness, a little later on, he was lucky enough to work from home. What on? Lawsuits? Because you're not really doing anything else. And that, to me, is where the problem lies.
Here's the timeline. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan, ending in 2013, then left active duty in 2015. Since moving to California in 2020, it's been Netflix deals and lawsuits. Meanwhile, William's juggling actual royal duties while Catherine battles cancer.
What you've got in the land of Montecito is children that you never see with other children, always filmed from the back and seemingly a life of seclusion. And then Harry goes and does this to his brother once again on the world stage. As ever, let me explain.
The contrast is staggering. William's children appear at public events, interact normally with other kids, seem genuinely happy. Meanwhile, Catherine just finished chemotherapy, and this is when he chooses to launch another public attack. The timing reveals everything about his character.
And there was a line in there that really apparently offended a lot of people in here. And this was down to the line of how, you know, the job killed his mother, you know, the royal job, as it were. It didn't, and the farce of it is, this is the problem.
This narrative completely ignores the facts. Diana died in a car crash with a drunk driver going twice the speed limit, trying to escape paparazzi. Turning that tragedy into a weapon against his brother shows how desperate he's become for victimhood status.
You know, Harry is clearly not grasping the fact that his mother, whether we like it or not, got into a very unsavoury car with a driver who was over the limit. But on top of all of that, the bigger problem is, and I've often said this here on the show, Diana's problem started with all the lies that she was fed by Martin Bashir, the former BBC reporter.
The Dyson report proved Bashir forged bank statements and fed Diana paranoid lies about her closest allies spying on her. That interview destroyed her trust in everyone around her, including her own protection officers. It was psychological warfare that left her isolated and vulnerable.
She's even told that William's watch was secretly recording her. Imagine looking at your own son and thinking, is this guy spying on me? You know, it must have been awful.
Imagine being 15 years old and your mother starts looking at you with suspicion, wondering if you're recording her conversations. William lived through that paranoia firsthand. Now his brother is weaponizing that same trauma for Netflix content and book sales.
According to the source here, William really gets very upset when Harry brings his mother back into the equation. Now, Harry has to bring this situation back into the equation because, quite frankly, there's no other story, is there?
Netflix is reportedly furious about their content pipeline drying up. Without Diana's stories, what's left? Holo documentaries and jam recipes don't exactly scream must-see television. He's trapped in this cycle because grievance is literally his only marketable skill now.
William has been very, in my opinion, very professional about this. He realises that you can't change the past, you've got to move on, develop the future, and clearly has built a very happy and secure home life around him.
William channeled his grief into meaningful work. Mental health advocacy, homelessness initiatives, environmental causes. He's dealt with his father's cancer diagnosis and his wife's treatment with remarkable dignity. That's how you honour someone's memory, not by monetizing their death.
As I've said to you, Harry and Meghan are a danger to the monarchy. They're clearly not letting up. She is merchandising and becoming like the free Fergie wherever you turn. And on top of all of that, you know, now Harry is basically monetizing his mother.
Sarah Ferguson at least kept her commercial ventures relatively separate from direct attacks on the family. This is worse. He's literally selling access to his mother's grave for content. American Riviera Orchard launched while he's doing Diana interviews. The timing isn't coincidental.
He's detailed it in his book, but for a few dollars more to coin a Clint Eastwood film, he's always ready to bring it up, which he knows grabs headlines. And more importantly, I'm sure he's aware of how distressing and how upsetting this is to his elder brother.
Every single media appearance follows the same playbook. Invoke Diana, claim victimhood, attack William's character. He knows exactly which buttons to push to generate headlines, while William can't respond publicly. It's calculated psychological warfare, disguised as healing.
When you think about it, how cruel do you need to be to a person you apparently want to be friendly with again and to re-ingratiate yourself back into family life? It's truly never going to happen, is it?
The contradiction is stunning. He claims he wants reconciliation while simultaneously destroying any possibility of it. William has shown incredible restraint, not publicly defending himself against these attacks. Most people would have snapped by now at this level of betrayal.
I really feel sorry for him in other aspects as well, simply because when you think about it, we get all the stories about Prince Harry and his mother, the late Diana, and oh, it's terrible and everything, but people forget that she was the mother to two sons. And I don't mean we forget, but you know, the story is always like Harry's problems, and you think it must have been just as hard, if not harder, because he's older, just at the point when he needed her a little bit more.
William was 15 when Diana died. Old enough to understand the gravity, young enough to be devastated. He had to comfort his younger brother while processing his own trauma, then step into royal duties. Yet somehow he's painted as the privileged one.
You can't help but feel sorry for Prince William, can you? You know, I just sort of feel like it must be hard because obviously he can't really keep answering back. And Harry is like scooping up every possibility of trying to get sympathy. Now, you might say, oh, that's unkind. The way I look at it is this. He recently did the talk over in Australia about mental health. And
as future king, William can't engage in public feuds or defend himself in interviews. He's institutionally constrained, while his brother exploits that silence. Framing these attacks as mental health advocacy makes it even more cynical, weaponizing therapy speak for personal vendettas.
You would think at this particular point in his life, now edging towards over the mid-40s, that he would think, I've kind of got my life set up. I'm married, I've got children, and seemingly securely set. But again, he keeps going back to the past. And apparently, according to this source, this is one that he knows really gets to the heart of William.
At 42, with every privilege money can buy, he's still mining childhood trauma for content. This isn't therapy anymore. It's strategic emotional manipulation designed to wound his brother while generating sympathy and revenue. The calculated cruelty is breathtaking.